A military nurse claimed the being spoke directly into her mind. Floodlights cut across the desert perimeter, while armed MPs guarded restricted hangars at Roswell Army Air Field. Inside one secured medical room, according to later claims, a military nurse sat across from a silent survivor who recovered after the 1947 Roswell incident. No interviews, no spoken language, no translator. And then, according to the alleged transcripts, thoughts reportedly began appearing inside her mind. In 2007, author and editor Lawrence R. Spencer claimed he received a thick envelope containing alleged classified interview documents connected to Roswell. Spencer was known for writing and publishing material involving metaphysical, spiritual, and consciousness-related themes, which later became one reason critics questioned the authenticity of the claims. According to Spencer, the package contained personal notes and interview transcripts attributed to a woman named Matilda O'Donnell MacElroy. MacElroy allegedly described herself as a member of the US Army Women's Medical Corps, stationed near Roswell in July 1947. According to the documents, she was unexpectedly assigned to assist military personnel after debris and reported survivors were allegedly transported to the base, following the now famous crash outside Corona, New Mexico. The alleged transcripts claimed she initially believed she was being called to assist with an injured aviation survivor. Instead, she reportedly entered a heavily guarded medical security section where armed personnel, intelligence officers, and observers stood behind glass partitions, while a small non-human entity sat quietly beneath bright military lighting. Descriptions within the documents portrayed the being, allegedly called Earl, as thin, grey-skinned, physically delicate, and calm despite the surrounding military presence. According to the reports, the entity allegedly showed little interest in food, water, or conventional communication attempts. Then something changed. MacElroy claimed the entity began communicating through direct mental impressions rather than speech. Not sentences exactly, not audible words, but images, concepts, emotions, and fully formed thoughts appearing instantly in her mind. According to the alleged interviews, the experience reportedly left her shaken, but increasingly convinced that communication was genuinely occurring. The setting described in the documents felt less like a science fiction film and more like a tightly compartmentalized Cold War operation. Restricted corridors, military trucks moving behind fenced perimeters, observation personnel taking notes from behind reinforced windows, temporary medical containment areas guarded day and night. Outside the alleged interview room, Roswell Army Air Field itself was already considered one of the most sensitive military installations in the United States. The base housed the 509th Bomb Group, the world's first atomic bomb unit, adding to decades of speculation surrounding secrecy at the site. The story spread rapidly online after Spencer published the material in the book Alien Interview. Some readers believe the documents describe one of the most disturbingly alleged Roswell accounts ever released. Others question nearly every aspect of the narrative. UFO researchers, historians, and investigators pointed toward the lack of independent, verified military records confirming MacElroy's identity or assignment. Critics also questioned why no authenticated originals of the alleged documents have publicly surfaced. Roswell itself already carried decades of controversy long before the alleged interviews surfaced. In 1947, the US Army initially issued a press release stating that personnel from Roswell Army Air Field had recovered a flying disc. The statement was later retracted and replaced with explanations involving a weather balloon, before later military reports connected the debris to the classified Project Mongol surveillance program. Yet despite official explanations, Roswell never disappeared from public imagination, and neither did stories like this one. Because buried beneath the claims, contradictions, and disputed documents sits one detail that continues to unsettle people decades later. Not the crash, not the wreckage, not even the alleged survivor, but the idea that if something truly non-human had ever communicated with us, it may not have needed words at all. And somewhere inside a guarded room in the New Mexico desert, according to one of the most controversial Roswell stories ever told, a military nurse allegedly believed that something impossible was staring directly back at her, silently placing thoughts inside her mind. Legend, myth, or hidden truth? What do you believe?